Today, we are going to be going over the top reasons why some boxing fans believe that Devin Haney doesn't deserve a shot with George Kambosos. Okay, let's look at this first comment right here by Gamer D. Gamer D believes that Devin Haney is nothing because he almost got dropped by Jose Linares. This is why I say you can't trust or listen to what any of these casual boxing fans say, because most of these casual boxing fans are not boxing fans at all. Okay, if Gamer D is trying to downgrade Devin Haney for getting dropped by Linares, oh my bad, for almost getting dropped by Linares, then how do you think it looks that Lomachenko actually did get dropped by Linares?
It was cut years ago with Manny Pacquiao. If I told you, then say.
So if it looks bad that he almost got dropped by Linares, then it should look even worse that Lomachenko actually did get dropped by Linares. This is why I say the stuff that they bring up and the stuff that they comment on for the reasons for people not getting fights makes absolutely no sense. Okay, moving on to the next one. What else do they say? Devin Haney is boring. The reason why you don't want to listen to a casual boxing fans for basically what I just stated in the first comment, but most importantly, the best or one of the best boxers who ever laced up a pair of boxing gloves in the history of the sport was called boring, and that was Floyd Mayweather. Yet, no fighter in which they favor has outsold this so-called boring fighter. So what does that mean? When these casual boxing fans call somebody boring, number one, it doesn't mean that they're not entertaining. And number two, it doesn't mean that they cannot sell. Okay, because Floyd Mayweather still to this day have pay-per-view records that have not been broken by nobody, but yet everybody complained that his fights was not entertaining. Boxing will never be entertaining to the casual boxing fans. They don't fancy 12-round fights. As a matter of fact, the only time the American boxing world has appreciated the sweet science in a 12-round fight is when Vasily Lomachenko came on the scene. And those are just facts at the end of the day. So when it comes to Devin Haney not being entertaining enough, or Devin Haney being chinny, or Devin Haney being this or Devin, they're all excuses. Just like the excuse of Devin Haney not being in an entertaining fight. Once you ask these people, okay, well, since Devin Haney is a so-called boring fighter, then tell me, what was the last boring fight that he was in? And you will notice that they can't name it because they don't know any of his fights. A lot of people go around regurgitating something that the next person said and the person who they're even regurgitating didn't even know what they were talking about when they were saying it. And those are just the simple facts. And then some want to say, well, Lomachenko, he's the tougher fight. Based on what? Lomachenko has 2 losses. He also has nothing to offer to aid during this undisputed quest. Okay, Devin Haney has something to offer during the undisputed quest. And if Lomachenko fights George Kambosos, what do? We just did one big 360-degree circle. We did nothing but tread water. Because if Lomachenko beat George Kambosos, guess what? He's still not undisputed. Okay? We're still in the same spot we was when Teofimo Lopez was in this spot. Okay? We're still in the same spot Lopez was in when Teofimo Lopez was in it. Now George Kambosos is in it, and now you guys want to revert right back to the beginning, which leaves us still in the same spot. There is no undisputed champion because nobody fights Devin Haney. Okay, so by seeing a fight between George Kambosos and Vasily Lomachenko, we've done nothing but waste time and tread water, because we still will have gotten a undisputed champion. So make that make sense. And people say that Lomachenko is the harder fighter, once again, based on what? He's already had 2 losses. Okay? And I don't want to hear about, well, Lomachenko, he's fought better competition. He's fought. Okay, what was the most entertaining fights that Vasily Lomachenko was in since Devin Haney is so boring? I know all of them. The most entertaining fights that Vasily Lomachenko was in was Salido, which he lost, was Pedraza, which he got beat up, and Luke Campbell, in which he said, and I quote, Luke Campbell is his toughest opponent to date. Okay? The same Luke Campbell that got knocked out by the Tooth Fairy, Ryan Garcia. And since Lomachenko is the tougher fight, how come nobody was saying that when he was trying to fight a Ryan Garcia? Notice when it's Ryan Garcia in the driving seat, there is no, oh, well, this fight is a tougher fight. You guys didn't say shit. Okay? Ryan Garcia is definitely not a tough fight, but you guys didn't say that when you thought he was fighting Ryan Garcia. Okay? So where was that speech then? Okay? Lomachenko being a tougher fight, that excuse only comes up when people are trying to get George Kambosos to fight Devin Haney. Then all of a sudden, oh, well, this guy is the tougher fight. Compared to what? Because Lomachenko's toughest fight was somebody that one of the most unaccomplished lightweights in the division knocked out. Okay? So Lomachenko's toughest opponent was Ryan's easiest opponent. Okay? I'm going to put it like this. Lomachenko's toughest opponent was Ryan Garcia's step-up opponent. Okay? So when it comes to level competition, okay, weigh that on the scale and tell me how that makes sense. You tell me how Luke Campbell, being Vasily Lomachenko's toughest opponent, just happens to be Ryan soft-ass Garcia's first step-up opponent. Tell me that. So how tough could Luke Campbell actually have been if Ryan Garcia ended up starching his ass? And we know Ryan Garcia don't want no smoke with nobody, but it's all about fighting the tougher competition. The tougher competition, without a shadow of a doubt, is Devin Haney, and they all know that. Okay? They just want to keep coming up with these lame-ass excuses not to give this kid a shot, when the truth of the matter is, it's not about being entertaining. It's not about what he has done. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's simply the fact is, they don't want to see Devin Haney as a champion. They don't want to have no reason to give him credit. And they don't want him put into a position where you recognize him as an elite boxer. That's all it is at the end of the day. And nobody can say it like I can, simply due to the fact is, I am not a Devin Haney fan. I'm a boxing fan who would like to see boxing matches. So if I can say this about Devin Haney, I know everybody else can. So the fact that they're not shows that it's not just boxing that they're talking about when they don't want to give this kid a shot. Anyways, that's all I got for now. I'm out.